The Handmaid's Tale saw June Offord, played by Elizabeth Moss, finally give birth, but not before her life was threatened on several occasions. June spoke to her baby in the last scene to name her Holly, the same name as her own mother. Moments later a car pulled up outside with the headlights shining through the windows. However, it was the brief appearance of her other child Hannah that has prompted fans to take to Reddit over confusing timelines. Reddit user Dandelion Greens posted, "Timeline confusion. When we see Hannah in Season 2 Episode 11, she doesn't appear to be more than a few years older than she was at the time June was taken in Episode 1. Timeline confusion. When we see Hannah in Season 2 Episode 11, she doesn't appear to be more than a few years older than she was at the time June was taken in Episode 1. A Handmaid's Tale fan Dandelion Greens: I assume June was taken right around the time of the Gilead takeover. So, the Gilead regime can't have been around for more than about 3 or so years. So, why do the other characters, especially Rita and Eden, seem like they've been living the Gilead way for most of their lives?" Sick. He meant June through the show's equivalent of Tinder, which means in the 2010s. They added, "Plus, it's stated that Luke was born in 1980, so based on his birth year he would have been in his 30s. If Hannah was 8 at the time of the takeover, then Luke is probably in his 40s now, right? He looks a bit younger than that." While it appears bosses were keen to keep the same actors in the cast, many believe Hannah should have been played by a slightly older actress to make the plot seem more believable. Fan Leo94 pointed out some of the scenarios were intentional, writing, "Some of that is intentional to illustrate how quickly things can change." I can't remember if it's in the show or the book where the main character says something along the lines of "It's amazing how quickly you can get used to something." Fan Drew Rafella argued the reference to Tinder could just be a way for viewers to understand how they met, rather than for them to know when Tinder was created. They said, "I was wondering about the Tinder timing too. Tinder started in 2012, but it seems like Gilead was formally established in 2015, when Hannah, the daughter June had with Luke, is 5, meaning she would have had to be born at least 2 years before her parents even met. It doesn't fit." I think we're just supposed to suspend disbelief and accept the Tinder reference as a way of generally dating the show to point out that this dystopia exists in modern times, not the distant future. One viewer had another theory, adding the timeline actually shows 3 years and 9 months progression further along the storyline. Reddit user Adjglet noted, "There's a scene in Season 1 when they show Luke first coming to Canada and in the next scene it says 3 years later, and we see him receive the message from June through the Mexican ambassador. This is shortly before June gets pregnant or shortly after. That part's unclear, so, it's been about 3 years and 9 months. Following on from the timeline confusion, fans are now fearing for June after she survived her traumatic pregnancy experience. Will June and her new baby Holly make it out alive after the car pulled up outside? The Handmaid's Tale is available to watch on 4Albanian Lex now.